Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Happening right now, family and friends coming together to honor the life of an innocent child killed in a dog attack. Police said the child was in his backyard when the dog attacked. It tops our news at 6. I'm Devin Skillia.
I'm Kimberly Gill. The attack happened last week on Detroit's west side. Mara McDonald is live tonight where a vigil for the child is set to begin. Mara, good evening.
Kimberly, hi. Take a look behind me. You can see family and friends of little 4-year-old Lavelle Anderson have gathered out here. And the vigil is one thing, but here's the other thing that I want to bring everybody up to speed on. I was speaking to the family's attorney, and here's the situation. You know, Lavelle was attacked in his grandmother's backyard. You can see this home is fully fenced. Police believe that the dog burrowed under the fence and attacked the boy. The question is, what dog is responsible? After this terrible attack happened last week, police and animal control took 2 animals in. One was the family dog, and then the other was a dog that appeared to be living at a home behind Lavelle's grandmother's home. According to the family's attorney, the dog that was their family dog has essentially been cleared in this case. That leaves the other dog, but it's not certain that that other dog is responsible for all of this. The owner of that dog has surrendered any sort of rights or responsibility to it, so it's at animal control and will likely have to be euthanized and opened up to determine whether it was the dog that's responsible. But if it is not the dog that's responsible, that means there's another animal out here running around that is. In speaking to Peter O'Toole, who was representing the family this afternoon, he told me police and animal control, they could really use any information that anybody in the area has. Take a listen.
The one thing I think for community members, if you haven't talked to the authorities and you feel like you have something to share, to please come forward. Any lead is a good lead. We are still trying to identify the owner of the dog. That's part of the investigation that's ongoing. But if there's somebody in the community that does have information they haven't come forward, I would just really ask that you please do so.
Back here live, little 4-year-old Lavelle has not been laid to rest yet. Apparently the family was working on those details today and are really struggling to come up with the money in order to pay for the funeral. They have put up a GoFundMe, and we have that info up on clickondetroit.com. We're live on Detroit's west side. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
It's heartbreaking. Okay, Mara, thank you.
No arrests so far in the murder of local synagogue leader Samantha Wohl. Detroit police provided an update on the investigation late this afternoon. The body of the 40-year-old was found Saturday morning near her home in Detroit's Lafayette Park community, just east of downtown. She had been stabbed several times. Detroit's Chief James White says there is no evidence that it was a hate crime. He says there are some persons of interest in the case, but that at the moment they do not have someone they're declaring a suspect.
We want to make sure that we don't rush and that we do everything to make sure that evidence is analyzed, search warrants are got up, and we bring this matter to close with the appropriate person being held accountable for these horrendous actions.
Police say there was no forced entry at her home. Investigators believe the public is not at risk, that the suspect acted alone. We will have more on today's news conference coming up later on tonight on Local 4 News. All right, UAW President Shawn Fain joined about 6,800 union members in Sterling Heights as they walked off the job today at Stellantis' largest factory, the factory that produces Dodge Ram pickup trucks. Big seller, of course, for the company, their most profitable vehicle, we should also mention. Today's move comes after Fain reported Friday that there had been some progress in talks with General Motors and Stellantis, but that they still have not gone far enough with their offers.
Yeah, and meanwhile, as the strike continues, is fatigue setting in for union workers? Well, Sean Lay joins us live, and Sean, I understand you talked to Shawn Fain about that exact issue.
We did. Let's talk about the big picture here. Ram trucks, as Devin mentioned, wildly popular here. Production on these stopping today with this strike. They're not going to be delivered in a few days. Obviously, suppliers not supplying because workers are out here now on strike. This took the company basically by surprise. They're saying they're outraged by today's walkout. This is day one, though, for these workers on the picket line. What about the other workers who have been out a month, a week, and a day? And what about that fatigue that we are hearing is setting in with some?
Striking's tough, it's not easy, but, we have to do what we have to do.
Sources confirming that UAW President Shawn Fain is not on $500 a week strike pay because the UAW Constitution states Fain gets his $208,000 a year salary per those union rules. As now more UAW workers are sent out to the picket lines. Today, a surprise strike at the Stellantis assembly plant in Sterling Heights. 6,800 workers who make the Ram truck here are now off the job. For them, this is day one of their strike. Catching Stellantis by surprise, catching employees by surprise.
10 o'clock, I just sat down for lunch.
10 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, our phone started going off. I checked on my phone. It said, SHAP is going on strike. Pick up your stuff, walk out peacefully.
What was your immediate reaction?
Excitement.
Excitement?
Yeah, we were excited.
But for 1 month, 1 week, and 1 day, other UAW members have been on those picket lines. Workers in the cold and rain outside of the GM Pontiac Redistribution Center Friday. They were hoping for Fain to announce a deal or news that a deal could be coming. But they were told to stay out and stay strong. Many looked deflated. In the past, a strike meant all members were in it together. Targeted strikes this time is causing strike fatigue, says labor and employment attorney Brett Miller.
Now there's this disproportionate burden of some employees have had to, bear more of this, be out longer. And there's definitely some grumbling that we've heard from the rank and file on how that's working.
Shawn Fain is a guy that I can get behind, and I support him 100%, even if we're out here until Christmas.
Until Christmas, according to some of the employees we're talking to here. I asked Stellantis for comment on today's walkout. They said they were outraged. Part of the statement they sent me, the UAW's continued disturbing strategy, they say, of wounding the Detroit Three will have long-lasting consequences with every decision to strike. Kimberly and Devin, the UAW, Stellantis says, sacrifices domestic market share to non-union companies. We're live tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4, back to you.
Okay, Sean, thanks for the update.
Fallout continues at Michigan State University after a recent letter from a board trustee called for the removal of the board chair. It comes after the controversial video played during Saturday's game at Spartan Stadium. Will Jones live in East Lansing tonight. This is getting to be at a full boil here, Will.
You're right, Devin. Michigan State students and alums are proud of their connection to the university. That's why they hope the university gets it together. They say some people apparently are not up to the job and should be let go. Michigan State is on a roll, and many say in the wrong direction.
We keep getting bad publicity for things over the current months, so it just keeps racking up.
Saturday night, before the Spartans took on the Wolverines, a pre-game trivia question involving Adolf Hitler on the video board at Spartan Stadium sparked outrage. University officials apologizing and promising greater oversight to prevent it from happening again.
It's kind of disappointing the way things are going right now. You'd expect people to have their acts together.
There's also discord on MSU's Board of Trustees. Trustee Brianna Scott sending this letter to her colleagues Friday, calling for the resignation of board chair Rima Vassar, accusing her of improper conduct. Governor Whitmer, a MSU alum, responding to Scott's allegations, saying in part, this university has been rocked by scandal after scandal with no clear unified leadership or direction, and tragically, no accountability either. Right now, there are too many questions and not enough answers. Last month, Mel Tucker was fired as the head football coach following a sexual harassment suit. Students and alums say they have had it with this dysfunction.
We have a terrible track record. I think the only way to solve it is just you got to change leadership. It's that simple. Clearly the people are hiring in various positions for the MSU. It's not working great.
MSU Interim President Teresa Woodruff responding to Trustee Scott's letter about Chair Vassar, saying in part, as the university bylaws state, I serve to promote, support, and protect the interests of Michigan State University. As outlined in a recent trustee letter, these responsibilities have been challenging at times. I reached out to Vassar for comment and so far have not heard back yet. We're live at Michigan State University in East Lansing. Will Jones, Local 4.
Okay, Will. Hamas militants have released 2 more hostages. We've got new video that shows the 2 elderly women taken out of Gaza at the Rafah crossing into Egypt. They are reportedly in good health, though one is in desperate need of her medication. Sources tell NBC News Egypt and Qatar were involved in the mediation. Hamas says it released them from humanitarian reasons days after freeing an American woman and her teenage daughter. Ahead here tonight at 6:30 on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt, we'll find out why the U.S. is asking Israel to delay going into Gaza on the ground. Tonight in our Help Me Hank consumer headline, surprising information on the rise in social media scams. Also good news for those looking to book holiday travel and a new recall alert.
Hank Winchester's live tonight. Hank, the Consumer Product Safety Commission just announcing this recall.
Yeah, this is a very important recall coming down this afternoon. The steps taken to inform everybody now after a teenager died in a fire. Take a look at the product and the information you need to know. We began with an important recall alert. The Elite 60-volt electric scooters being recalled. They were sold online. 2 deaths have been reported, several injuries that concern the lithium-ion battery, which is now a potential fire danger. Social media scams are growing. $2.7 billion taken by scammers since 2021. Facebook and Instagram are the hot spots for these high-tech thieves. They're targeting seniors, and they're working to steal their personal information and create a new identity. And if you're looking to travel for the holiday season, good news, hotel and airfare prices down 15% from last year at this time. Good idea to book before the end of October if you want to save. Right now, Delta, Spirit, and United are offering deeper discounts. And we're talking about flights and airfares towards the end of December, from about December 15th through the end of the year. Again, if you are looking to travel during that time period, try to book those tickets during the month of October. If you wait until November, prices could go up another 15 to 25%. We're live here tonight. Hank Winchester, Help Me Hank, Local 4.
Got to get on it. November will be here before we know it. All right. Hank, thank you.
Well, it's not just hurry to November, though, because today was very nice. Let's stay with it.
That's right. Let's get Alberta Kim Adams with your forecast.
Well, we had a little early taste of winter this morning out at the National Weather Service office in White Lake. They hit 27 degrees. It was 28 this morning in Ann Arbor, and just a degree better in Lapeer. Many areas were below freezing with a little frost this morning. That is not going to be a problem for the rest of the week. Right now, 55 downtown, 53 in Pontiac, mid-50s in Ann Arbor. It's anywhere from 2 degrees up to 7 or 8 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. Tomorrow gets even warmer than that. We start with a few clouds, but otherwise sunshine through the day, and temperatures top out in the low 70s. Temperature trend, though, over the next 7 days is a little bit wild. It goes up, down, back up, and then it really goes down by the middle of next week. But we're going to enjoy the 70s. We'll talk more about rain in a few minutes.